Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome to week 4. Very dirty hands today. So week 4. We're a month into this. So what's going on this week? Well, first and foremost, I have quite the squirrel issue in my backyard. It's always an issue. I've tried lots of different things, but this by far has been the most effective. This is 4 pounds of cayenne pepper that I ordered on Amazon. Apparently squirrels do not like strong aromas, and especially like spicy strong aromas. So I took this the other day and I sprinkled it all over my garden, and that squirrel stayed out of my gardens. Then it rained, so I think the aroma kind of went away. So it's probably something I'm gonna have to do every few days, but I found something that finally works where I don't actually have to, like, you know, do anything to the squirrel. So that's how this 4th week has started, me spreading cayenne pepper all around my garden. Another thing that I did today was I picked up bare root strawberries at the store. Now, I didn't show you guys the planting because I've never done this before, but I have my entire tiered planter full of 2 different kinds of strawberries. I think they're Sequoia strawberries, which are June bearing, so it's going to be early summer. The other type of strawberry I got was the Ozark strawberry, and those are ever bearing, so that means they just like keep producing, whereas the June bearing ones they produce all at once. So I'm excited to see how those do. I just literally filled my green stock with it, and I am a little bit early. You can plant bare root stuff in zone 8B usually between like February and March, so I'm definitely a little early, but we've been on the warmer side, and I actually saw strawberries growing in somebody else's plot at the community garden, which just telling me that nature is saying it's time. So that happened, and then the other thing that I'm doing is I am planting onions in the backyard. I tried to plant onions from seed, and it was an actual colossal failure in every way. They got dug up, they didn't come up, it was just like really difficult. So one of my community plot friends told me that onion sets were the way to go. So I got, this is like a Texas early grano onion, and then this is more of a yellow onion. So they come in these sets and you get them in a bunch, and then you split them up and you plant them. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to plant them. I am planting them in my furthest bed in my backyard. I'm a little bit worried because it's slightly more shaded, but I did some research and it says it's gonna be fine, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm going to plant these out, and then we'll go from there. Y'all, so that is done. It always amazes me how little time it takes to complete things like this. Like, I think it took me 30 minutes to plant like 70 onions, and like that's all food, you know. That could potentially be 80 onions if they all grow. Same thing with the strawberries. I love strawberries and they're very expensive, especially the organic ones, so it blows my mind that I can spend 20 minutes planting 30 strawberry plants, and all I have to do is water them and watch them and take care of them, and then I have food. So in an hour, I potentially just gave myself months of strawberries and months of onions. Blows my mind every time. I'll catch up with you in a couple days. Hey guys, what's up? So it's a few days later. I have a garden buddy with me today. This is Lana, and today we're gonna plant some sugar snap peas on my arch trellis. Lana, honey, I love you so much, but can you go lay down? Okay. What are you next? You want to come say hi? Okay. And we have Cooper, camera shy boy. Okay, can you go lay down? Okay. So, I started these sugar snap peas inside in my my seed starting rack system, and sugar snap peas are actually something you can very easily start outside wherever you're going to plant them, but I only get around 4 hours, which is on the really low end, of sunlight this time of year in my backyard. So I didn't think that was enough light to get them germinated, so I germinated them inside, and now that they have leaves, I think they have enough foliage at this point to take in the sun that they do get and grow. This is all kind of a giant experiment, so we'll see, but we're gonna go ahead and plant these guys. Okay guys, that is one trellis planted. I'm gonna go do the other one, and then I wanna show you guys how I more deeply pot my tomato seedlings. So, be right back. Hey guys, okay, we're back inside. All of the sugar snap peas are planted. I really love sugar snap peas. They do really well in the cold. So we'll see if they come up. The sugar snap peas that I planted at my community plot, I just stuck them right in the ground. So if you don't have any issues with sunlight, just stick them in the ground, because basically when you start them inside, you'll start them for like a week, and then their roots get so gnarly that they have to just go right into the ground. But any type of pea typically is actually really good for your soil. It's a good nitrogen fixer. And what I did last year, and what my very wise garden mentor has taught me, is to just cut them up when they're done, and just turn them into the soil, or just break them into the soil, and they're really good for the soil. So what I want to show you guys next are my tomato seedlings. So I'm going to show you ones that I already did this with, and then I'm going to show you how I do it. And basically what it is tomato seedlings, when you see them, they have all these tiny little hairs on the stem. I'll show you here in a second. All of those hairs, if you plant it more deeply, will become roots. So when I'm starting my tomatoes inside, what I do is I'll actually take a pencil and I dig down all the way to the bottom, and I'll show you this in a second. I lift up and I pull up the seedling very gently, and then I make a hole with the pencil and I place the seedling back down in the hole. And what that does is that actually allows the seedling to spread out its roots and create a much more stable root system, and it also prevents your seedling from getting leggy. So I'm going to show you a few plants that I already did this with about a week ago, just to show you that you're not going to kill your plants, and then I will show you one where I actually need to do it. Most of these are ones where I already did it, and you might be able to see, if I can get it to not focus on me and focus on the plant, you might be able to see the little hairs that I'm talking about, and how if you plant them, they will actually form little roots. So almost this whole tray I did this with, and they're all still alive, they're all doing great. So let me show you how to do this. So I literally take my pencil. This is a Cherokee purple that's just starting to form its other leaves. So I literally take this pencil and I'll stick it in the corner. You don't want to disrupt the roots that it's already got. You want to try and get away from the roots. And you're going to pop it up from the bottom like this. Then you'll grab your seedling very gently. And then it'll let me show you up close. All of those little hairs are going to form roots, which is why we are going to take our pencil out. You want to just mash down all of this. You're going to make yourself a hole, and you want to make sure that the hole that you make is bigger than your seedling. So you can just very gently, you might have to sometimes I just very gently will take off any of the extra potting soil, but don't really pull at it too much. And you'll want to just gently place your seedling down as far as it will go, and then re-press in all of the soil. That is what I do to separate my seedlings if I planted multiple seeds. I also did this same process with my tomatillos. I ended up with double the amount of tomatillos that really I had room for, and they also have the hairs on their stems, and so I did it with them, and they're also doing great. So that's kind of how I divide my tomato seedlings, and then I repot them. This also gives me a little more life out of these cells before I have to up-pot them, which the up-potting will probably happen in, I would say, 2 weeks. All these tomatoes and peppers were started on January 7th. Today is the 26th. So they're almost 3 weeks old. And so they will probably need a new pot here not before long. That's when things start to get a little bit tricky, because it's a lot easier when they're small because I'm starting so many. It gets a little bit pressed for space when they get big. Hey guys, something happened to my camera when I was finishing up that last little segment, and I lost the footage, so I don't remember what I was saying, so it clearly must have not been that important. But to round out this video, I want to show you the update on my onions and strawberries. I planted them, it'll be a week ago tomorrow, so they've been in the ground almost a week. I want to show you what they look like. It's chilly out here. And then I'm actually going to pick some rosemary and do a small time lapse of making a gluten-free rosemary sourdough focaccia bread. I've made it before, it's really good. And I really want to start sharing more of what I cook. It's not necessarily the time of year for that because there's not that much coming out of the ground, but I do grow rosemary, so we're gonna make some rosemary gluten-free sourdough focaccia. I think I got all that right. Let's look at strawberries. So here are the bare root strawberries, and they're coming along. I am rotating this this green stalk planter manually. I just ordered the wheels that go at the bottom so I can just wheel it around, but the sun really only comes through here, so not the whole thing gets sun, but even the parts that haven't had sun in a couple of days because I've been rotating it are coming along swimmingly. And then if we come over here, my onions in the grow bags are doing okay. These ones don't look great, but these look good, and these look good. And then these seem to all be taking really well. They've all kind of stood up, which tells me that their roots are getting established. And yeah, I can't really tell quite yet if they're growing, but they're at least getting rooted. And I think even these guys are doing pretty well. So my rosemary plant at home is in the corner here, and I really like growing rosemary. You can grow it really easily here, but the different varieties definitely have different flavors. I actually like the flavor of the variety I grow at the community plot more than this one, but this one is still good. Ugh. So nice. So I just needed one sprig of this, and then I actually have some rosemary from my community garden that I'll be using. Okay, let's go make some bread.